led by Michael Olunga, who scored the goal, and it was amazing for the fact we were happy that Olunga was back after missing the previous game. Yeah. So what do you make of this squad first of all?
For the Cameroon game, I feel like it was a bit too soon to rotate the squad. Yes, we can say maybe he was trying to rest a few players, maybe some weren't as fit, but I feel like it was too soon to rotate the squad. I feel like from now on, or even for the match today, you just pick let's say the best 11, his best, strongest and fittest 11, so that we can at least have a fighting chance against Cameroon. So that I'm not too confident that we could win the game, but it's drawable. We can at least get a draw, maybe get a point, and then we can fight from there on with Namibia and Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Now, there's something that happened in that particular match whereby I feel like it contributed to a loss. There was a very Matasi. Let us talk about Matasi factor here. On the second goal, I felt like that one, like if it was a serious goalkeeper, he was serious about it, that was not a goal to go past Matasi. Yeah. Because it was a very, I don't think that a good goalkeeper should lose such balls. Yeah. What do you think about that second goal?
Especially for someone who has maybe his sort of experience. Exactly. That is not a goal that you should be conceding. I remember it was a shot, but he opted to try and save with one hand. Exactly. And you wonder what was he trying to do. So I think the best thing to do today would be maybe to rest him and try the goalkeeper who played against Namibia, so that we can at least see who can put up a fight in that goalkeeping spot.
Yeah, that was the second goal that I feel like it was a very careless moment from the goalkeeper that led to that goal. But anyway, it happened. What happened happened. Yeah. And I feel like I said earlier, like most goals are coming from the right side, whereby Amos Nondi was the right back, and this guy Basogog, he was very instrumental in literally all the goals. Yeah. He was very instrumental. I know the first goal came from a penalty spot whereby Eric Otieno held the ball at the box. It became a penalty. Yeah. But now the following goals, I think they mostly came from that side, and I feel like he should do something on the right side. Yeah. He should do something on the right side. And that's where the problem is. And I also feel like he should start Joseph Okumu at the heart of defense. Because Joseph Okumu starting at the heart of defense means that we have a leader in that particular game. Because for the first time, you see this combination that he started in the previous game, in that game, Anyembe and this guy, he's still a young one, he's still a newbie to that game. Sylvester Owino, sorry, they were both new to that role. Sylvester is a defender, but now it was literally his first game in Harambee Stars colors. Yeah. But now, when you put two people who have not played before in that in the heart of the defense, you are risking a lot for that particular game. And I feel like Engine Firat should start Joseph Okumu today, so that we can have a leader and somebody who's naturally fit for that particular game. And I feel like maybe he put Anyembe there because maybe Eric Otieno had come back to the squad playing on the left side. So maybe that was his thinking process, but I feel like no, that should not happen. If he has to put Anyembe, then put Okumu, somebody's natural defender to help Anyembe. I'm not saying Anyembe was also good. He was so good in that particular place. So I feel like Joseph Okumu should start today, maybe because to bring that experience and that leadership in that defensive role. Yeah. And that's what I feel for today. And I think today maybe we could start Wilson. To see what he can offer the team, because he started at the bench in the previous game. So I think we need to see Wilson as a wing in the wing to see what he can offer the team today, and all that, and also Ayunga maybe coming in later on after maybe in the second half to see what they can offer the team, and that maybe can bring about good results. Because in the game against Namibia, Ayunga played so well. He was the link. He played a linking game very well with the wingers. Though he didn't score, but he was very instrumental in the contribution to that particular win. So I feel like they should introduce him maybe even in the second half to see what he can offer in this particular game, because we didn't see much of him in the previous game that we lost against Cameroon. Because right now we need at least, if not a win, let us try to get a point from Cameroon. Yeah. Literally, we are playing at home as much as we are playing in Uganda, but we are at home. That's what you can say, because it's still in East Africa. Yeah. So we need to come out with a point from that game.
It's very necessary for us to at least have a bit of a fighting chance in that group. We at least need a point today.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look at the standings, at the moment it seems like Cameroon have an easy qualification. It seems that they have that first spot nailed. And now it looks like we are competing for the second place. So if we can't manage a point today, then it's going to be very tough for Kenya to
And let us pray so much that maybe Zimbabwe holds Cameroon.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe holds Cameroon, maybe. It can be advantageous for us, but that is not promised because we cannot be depending on other teams' fixtures for us to progress. We need to do our part to make sure that we are at par with every performing team in that particular group. So there is no, Harambee Stars, you have nothing to hide. You have nowhere to hide, literally. So you just make sure today you give your all. Die in that pitch. Die for the country. I'm not saying you go die literally. I'm just saying give your 100% for the country because we need to qualify for this particular feat. 2025 African Cup of Nations in Morocco. We can't miss that because a team like Uganda, we can be sure that it has qualified. Tanzania is in the brink of qualifying. So we cannot be the only team in this East Africa. I'm saying the only because maybe in Africa there are two notable countries when it comes to national team. You have Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. So we cannot be the ones remaining back when our peers are progressing to the next to the African Cup of Nations. So we need to make sure that we come out to the point, and 3 points to be precise. That will be good smiles in our faces, no? And that's just about it. Unless you have something to add on that particular match. That was just about it. And like you've said, the return leg is today at 4 p.m. I think an hour from now. We'll be having that return leg in Uganda. I think it's Nambole Stadium. So let us pray for our boys. Let us support them. Sorry, Mandela Stadium. Mandela Stadium. Thank you for that correction. And let us pray that our boys do their best to make sure they come out with 3 points from that particular game to at least give us a fighting chance to be for the qualification to that particular feat. Now, another thing back here at home, and I feel like this is something that it has it's a very big topic, and hopefully next week I'll be coming with a friend of mine who will be coming to shelve to expound more about this particular topic. But I feel like we should still talk about it. The FKF presidential election that is going to be held in December, and things are hot in the heels of the aspirants that are fighting for a chance to be able to represent them, to be the heads in that Kandanda house. And this is one notable thing that happened last week. The CEO of the FKF, we have a president and we have a CEO. So the CEO Barry Otieno resigned last week, and people thought maybe that was it for him. But right after resigning, 2 days later, he has declared to be vying for the presidential seat coming December. Now, what people have a problem with, according to in regards to that particular news, is that this is a guy who has been in this, who has had that position as the CEO of FKF for the last 5 years. And there's nothing notable or positive that we can see, that we've seen from this particular regime that is led by the president who was called Nick Mwendwa. So these are the people who are at the helm of leadership of FKF in the last, literally, let us say, in the last, is it 9 years or something like that? In the last 9 years. And the term is coming to an end. Then we see a person in the name of a CEO who was holding the position of a CEO in that regime, resigning at this last moment and wants to vie as the president. What can you say about that?
It feels like we're carrying over our politics from government into football now. It's now handing over ceremony. Once you're done with your term, so you push it to your lower subordinates. So, I don't know, it feels a bit controversial. My hope was that we would at least get someone who's more experienced in the football sector, either maybe a former player or someone who has served in the managerial role, so that as they come in, they have a bit of experience in terms of whatever the players might require, any new ideas we might need in our Kenyan football, how we can develop either our stadiums or even our own local leagues. But it feels like we're just going around in circle. Now that Barry Otieno is standing for the presidential position, I don't know, it feels like he'll just end up going in and winning. He
has the favors,
Yeah, he's more likely to win. But my hope is that we at least get someone who can actually improve our football in Kenya.
Like literally, you were saying somebody who has never been in that particular position before. Somebody we need, like you said, we need fresh ideas. We need new people. We need new energy. We need new face of the Kenyan Premier League. Because if you're going to recycle the previous people who have been there, it means that you're not adding anything new. Like I was looking at the presidential aspirants. I mean, I can mention them notably. We have former FKF President Sam Nyang'moya, the one who was before Nick Mundwa came in. And I think it was no better because people are saying that maybe Nyamweya was better than as compared to Nick Mwendwa. But do we need to go for the bare minimum, or should we go for the best? So I don't think. Okay, the first one is Sam Nyamweya, who was previously before Mwendwa, he was the one who was the president, and he was taken out because there was a reason for that. And if you see such a person coming back, maybe we're going to recycle the same person, then there's a problem there. I'm not shutting him down. I'm saying he has the right to vie. He has a right to vie because he's a Kenyan, and he has been there before. He has a right as a Kenyan. True. So I'm just saying he's not my favorite candidate. We are going. The second one is Hussein Mohammed. Hussein Mohammed is the CEO of Extreme Sports, an independent a company that runs maybe some football matters in its own capacity. And I'm going to be biased. Maybe he is my preferred candidate, though. I'm going to put it out there. He's my preferred candidate here. Hussein Mohammed. We have Tom Alila. We have Sam Ochola. We have Jack Oguda. And we have Jack Oguda, who was resigned, who was the former CEO. Then we have Sami Kempe Sowino, a former player. And we have Cleophas Shimanyula. He's the president, or is the owner of Kakamega Homeboys, a team that plays in the Kenyan Premier League. So I know him, and he's now as an FC Leopard fan, I know him very much because he's a very big rival to FC Leopards, and we cross paths when it comes to FC Leopards. So to Kamegobas and FC Leopards. So of course not my preferred candidate. Now this is the lineup of the presidential aspirants to this particular upcoming elections, the FKF elections, and like I said. My preferred candidate is Hussein Mohammed because I feel like he has done so much for the sporting world. He's the CEO of Extreme Sports, but I've seen him extend a hand to other sports whereby he has been awarding maybe footballs to some teams and jerseys and everything. He has done so much for the sporting, just above everything that is giving out maybe this philanthropy to the teams in this country. But I feel like he's capable of doing justice to the FKF, and I watched his launch of his candidacy, and it was amazing. It was filled with pomp and color. There were some notable names in that particular launch, and a lot of people are supporting him. I saw notable people in this footballing world, in this country. People like Carol Radul endorsing him. I saw people like so many people. I saw my chairman at FC Leopards endorsing him. Being part of his unveiling of my chairman, that is forget it. Now, just again last week, he unveiled his running mate. Guess who the running mate? McDonald Mariga, former Harambee Stars player and former Inter Milan man, the only man from this country who has won a Champions League.
Very impressive.
With Inter. So what can you say about that? Look at all this candidacy. Who do you think here stands a chance to win this, to clinch this? Who, maybe not in the election, and I'm saying, who do you think is the most suitable one to clinch this FKF, who can bring a change into this footballing body and football as a whole in this country?
Now that you've mentioned Hussein's running mates, I feel like I'm leaning towards him because my hope was that we would at least get either someone who's a former player or someone who has that sort of experience either in the Kenyan Premier League or even in the national team, so that they understand whatever frustrations and whatever needs our players need, and they know whatever needs to be done to improve our structures and even the football game in general, because we have a big issue in terms of sponsorships, we have a big issue in terms of our stadiums, so hopefully we can get someone who can address these kind of issues.
And I'll be going deep. Maybe next week I'll be going deep into the ones who have given out the manifestos and see and what they have promised to do for footballing, for the football in this country, because we need to dig deep into the manifestos and understand them so that when whoever clinches the seat, we can judge them from the manifestos. So I hopefully next week I'll be coming with the manifestos for the ones who have brought theirs out and see who maybe stands a chance, who has the better manifesto, who stands a big chance, and who can we support. Maybe we might not be voters in this particular election, but we can maybe put our support out there, and that's just about it. And I hope the right person, the right candidate clinches the seat, because I feel like it is high time we bring new ideas to our footballing world, because we've been complaining for the longest time. I was talking to one of my friends maybe an elder and a big supporter from way back, and he told me that the last time maybe football in Kenya was stable and doing well was maybe in 2003. And he told me that was it Peter Kenneth was at the helm of the footballing of the footballing seat, maybe presidency in this Kenya. So we need that back. We need those glory days back. We need those glory days back. We need to fall in love with our football again. It is high time they provide us with that. The person who comes at the helm of the football presidency, FK presidency, brings back that passion, that love, that feeling of maybe we belong, or this football is working out for us. We need that feeling back, so that maybe we can quench, we can do away with this aspect whereby we say that there are no fans in our stadiums, we don't have good stadiums. We need that to be a thing of the past. It's 2024, yo. This is the 21st century, whereby we need to have seen an improvement in everything football in this country.
We saw a bit of hope under SportPesa when
the sponsorship, the sponsored the league,
of SportPesa, when we would see the likes of Everton, is it Hull City, if I'm not wrong,
Hull City,
coming to Kenya to play in our own local stadiums. We had a bit of hope that maybe things would turn around, but eventually whatever happened, and they went away. So hopefully we can go back to those glory days and at least have good sponsorships for our leagues, even have proper stadiums. I remember a while back we were saying there was a team that was changing in the buses, the parking area. So we don't want to see things like that in our local leagues. So hopefully whoever is going to end up coming into that presidential position is going to turn things around and make things better.
We hope that, so we pray that that one happens, so that we can revive our football to be at par with other sporting nations that are growing drastically, notably Tanzania. And also I think the Ugandan league is doing so well in this particular, I'm going to base on our region, because first of all we need to compare ourselves with the region, to be better in this region, so that we can start comparing ourselves with the leagues like in Morocco, South Africa and all that, the ones who are way ahead of us in as far as league of football is concerned. Now, still I want to exhaust on the football in this country now. We know that there has been a competition going on, the Under-20 African Cup qualification tournament, that is the SECAFA in Tanzania, that is happening, and our Under-20 football team called the Rising Stars has been is participating to this moment. And yesterday they had, is it yesterday? When was it? Was it on Friday? Was it on Saturday? I think.
I think so. Yeah.
They had a match against. Was it Djibouti? Whereby they won 4-0 against Djibouti. A very good game. I watched some the highlights of that game, some videos about that game, and they played so well. And notably people like Amos Wanjala, the defender that plays a trade in Spain, and we have people like Eldrin Kibet who did so well, and we even had people questioning why is this guy not being elevated to the national team, Harambee Stars. We can have many comments about that, but there's always a reason why the coach still feels like maybe he should maybe get the needed experience at this level, maybe, so that he can progress the national team. So, and there's another person who stood out was Manzur Suleiman, another defender who did so well who worked so well with Amos Wanjala at that heart of defense. And so basically those ones, we had Louis Ngavi, though they started at the bench. We had people like Kelly Madada, the Leopards man, Tyrone Kariuki, who did so well also. You have Jackson Imbiaha. We had so many people, Andres Odhiambo doing so well, Lawrence Okoth. So this is the squad that started that particular game. We had Ibrahim Wanzala as the goalkeeper. We had Baron Ochieng, Rogers Wasega, Manzur Suleiman, and Amos Wanjala. Kevin Wangaya, who scored 2 goals in that particular game. We had Andres Odhiambo, Hassan Beja, the FC Leopards man, also scored a goal, the first goal. Aldrin Kibet, William Mwangi, and Lawrence Okoth. That is the score that started that game.
Yeah.
And like I said, they won 4-0 against Djibouti. What did you make of that match, Rodney?
I remember we were analyzing and sort of joking around on Saturday, saying Tanzania won 7-0, so hopefully we could also score 7 goals. But
or more?
4. Yeah, we scored 4, so it's still a very good performance.
Yeah.
And it's encouraging, especially since they are the up and coming for the national team. So it's overall, congratulations to them and very good points. They've moved to the top of the league,
exactly.
the table
group,
and it's quite encouraging. So that even as the national team, the current that is, as they slowly move on and phase out, at least we know there's talent behind them that can put up a fight and fill their shoes. Yeah.
Exactly, and I just forgot something here. You can follow us on our social media platform. We are live on our social media platforms, that is Facebook at EBN TV and YouTube also at EBN TV. Talk to us, take part in the discussions by putting down your comments about everything that you're speaking about here. I'm saying some comments have come in here. I can just read some few here. There's one called Ojambo Franklin Peter. Thank you for watching. I know him. He's a good, he's a brother to me. Huh? The weekend was too long. We're now looking up to the next one. As usual, Chelsea win, Man U lose. I am very sure he was going to say that. That one I was so sure even before I started reading here. Let me preserve my call Del Monte for the next weekend. Tuned Nikiwa Tasia. Frank, okay, so we're coming there about Chelsea and everything. But Chelsea wako na kiburi sana. Not every and they drew against 10 men in the previous games. Sijui kiburi natoka wapi. Thank you so much, Frank, for tuning in, and I'm so happy that you're watching. We have Teddy Sami saying, Kenya inatuangusha sana manze. Then he put there an exclamation. I'm not going to read it. They are provided with everything and still brings home disappointments. The guy is heartbroken. And I can see heartbreak emoji and laughing emoji there. No. Teddy was supposed to be here today. Teddy! But due to unavoidable circumstances, I've never known what that means. But still, it is what it is. So due to unavoidable circumstances, he was not able to come, but hopefully next week he'll be here. Hopefully, Teddy, you are keeping, you are safe wherever you are, and we're looking forward to having you next week in this particular panel. We have Sami G saying, tuned in Kakawa from Embakasi na Waishia Harambee Stars Ushindi. Thank you so much, Sami G, for tuning in. Yeah, I can see you, Michael Njegi. Thank you so much. We have rectified on that. Thank you so much for keeping in touch with us and also confirming to us and that you are watching. Because when fans raise concerns, it means that they are watching keenly. So thank you so much, Michael and Njege, for that. Continue talking to us and taking part in particular topics that we are discussing here, and I will surely read all the comments that you put across here. And also, don't forget to share this particular broadcast with your friends so that we can all be part of, we can all be part of this particular broadcast, and we can have different views about every topic that we tackle here, you, my dear team. We love you so much, and continue contributing to the topics here. And you can see that people are disappointed with our national team, especially in regards to the last game that they played against Cameroon. And we hope they rectify on that, like you've said earlier today, that the game is going to start off at 4 p.m. The game that is played at Mandela Stadium in Uganda. So literally we are home. We are playing. It's a home game. It's a home match. You see, we say that there are no stadiums in Kenya that are at par with CAF, so definitely the game had to play in another ground that has maybe the qualities that are needed to play an international match, especially for the CAF competition. So that's why the game is being played in Uganda. To you, my dear viewers, I had to clarify that. Maybe somebody would ask, why is it being played in Uganda and it's a home match? So that's basically it. Now, let's go to something different now, to jump to a different sport here. Marathon. There was the Chicago Marathon this weekend, and amazing things happened this weekend, whereby most of our athletes did so well in that particular marathon. And one notable one is Ruth Chepngetich broke a world record with a time of 2 hours, 9 minutes and 57 seconds, whereby he emerged first, breaking a world record by 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Sorry, by 2 minutes, sorry.
2 minutes,
The previous record, it was 2:07. Now he has done a 2:09.
Yeah.
And this one brought a lot of fuss around the sporting world, especially people from there. And one notable comment from there was one man who said that he thought that maybe he did dope. He doped so that because he didn't understand how a person can run that fast.
Yeah.
What can you say about that?
It's a bit funny actually. Because I came across someone who had written an entire thread on X about some of the, let me say, questionable results, but I don't understand. These are professionals. I mean, they train for it, and they were trying to insinuate that Kenyans don't have, a
doping
testing facility or even these doping tests. So maybe she did something, but this is an international event. There's a lot of eyes over there, and I don't think for someone of her caliber can try and risk her career just to break a record, just for the sake.
Yes.
So I don't understand where the comments are coming from, but all we can say is congratulations to her. She flew our flag very high and put us up there on the world stats. So congratulations to her, and hopefully we can carry on with the form. Even I saw even in the men's marathon, there was John Corrier who won with a time of 2 hours, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. So
he did a personal best.
Yeah, personal best. So congratulations to both of them, and keep flying our flag high. Yeah,
exactly. We pray that they continue keeping flying our flag high, as Runia said. But I think such comments are very much uncalled for, especially coming from somebody from somebody from a different country. It's very much uncalled for, especially when you don't have a proof to accompany your sentiments. Because this guy who was questioning this particular athlete didn't have proof.
Yeah. They were just saying
that was just a thought about him, because he didn't understand how somebody would run that fast. And I'm shocked because, like, literally Kenya is marathon is Kenya.
Yeah.
We have been doing this for the longest time. We had Kipchoge. Why have they never questioned Kipchoge when he broke that 2 hour mark on marathon? Why didn't they question that? And I just feel like maybe there's an aspect of jealousy from other countries that Kenya is doing so well in marathons and they have got no equal. There's that aspect of jealousy, and we understand them, but we cannot condone that. I think the Athletics Kenya should come out and condemn such utterances from people who don't have, if you have proof, it's easier and maybe it makes sense because maybe you have proof that this one has happened.
True.
But as long as you don't have proof, please stay with your comments, stay with your sentiments. You don't have to talk down on somebody because you feel like he has done something that has never been done before.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can affect maybe the morale of this particular athlete. We don't need that. We don't need negativity in our sports.
Yeah.
Let us celebrate somebody when he does well, whether it's from our countries or not. Let us just celebrate them and appreciate them, because at the end of the day, we have seen something that has never been done before. This is the time to celebrate and just congratulate this particular athlete, unless you have proof that he went against the rules that are put across by the Athletics Kenya or any other governing body in a particular sport. Unless you have proof that they did against what is required, then reserve your sentiments. True. Especially with the negative.
True. Yeah.
We need positivity in our sports. We need to encourage our athletes to push to the limits and entertain us, because literally as much as they are getting something from it, they are still entertaining us.
Yeah.
So let us encourage them to do good. That's what we need to see. And kudos to him. Congratulations to Ruth Chepngetich for representing our country so well that even other people are getting jealous. That's what we need from athletes. Do that. Arab Stars, you can emulate this also. Do so well. Beat that Cameroon so bad that they can say that we have used juju here. Because that I was almost getting angry, but I've realized that they are not worth my anger now. Let us jump ship now to something else that happened throughout the week. Before that, let us talk about something that is very good again, for something that is so positive about our country that is happening this week, and we have been talking about it, and I feel like we should talk about it again because it is happening. It is happening right now. I wish I had a bump about it, but sorry for that. Maybe next week we are going to have it. Now, the World Cup under 17 women is starting off 2 days from now. Luckily, and something that can cheer us up, is that our country, Kenya, qualified for this particular feat. The Harambee Stars and Harambee Starlets, under 17 qualified, and they're going to be taking part in their first ever World Cup qualification, in the first ever World Cup. And I was looking at the camp and just digging deep and see this. They are so charged up. They are so happy about it. They are so prepared for it because, like we've been talking about them. We have been following their journeys here in this particular show, whereby they were in Spain some 2 weeks ago, whereby they participated in some friendly games and did so well in those friendly games. And they played against notable teams and they did so well. So they are so charged up, and I feel like we are ready for this. We are so ready for this, and we believe and pray that they are going to represent us so well. It can be your first time and be a shocker in that particular tournament. So I believe that they are going to give a good account of themselves in that particular feat in a World Cup. It is the first team in Kenya in regards to in the football discipline to ever qualify for a World Cup. What can you say about that? And what do you say about this particular team?
I also saw a short clip of the camp as they were practicing the celebrations for the matches that they'll be playing. So hopefully we can see a few of the celebrations over there. And overall, it's quite empowering, especially for women's football in our country, so that we're seeing our women being empowered and being and performing at that level, in as much as our men's team has never really featured in the World Cup. At least we have something to be proud of and to boast about our football in our country. So all the best to them. We wish them the absolute best, and as I said in the Olympics, hopefully they can keep flying our flag high and representing us well out there.
And I believe next week you're going to have an exclusive about them, because now the World Cup would have started. It is starting on, is it Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah, it is starting off, so I think it would have started, and we're going to have an exclusive about it, and we'll dig deeper into it, and depending on how, and just we'll see how they perform, and we'll talk about it here in next Monday. So keep it locked. Be with us here next Monday, because there'll be so much. And like I said, we'll be having a guest who has been a football enthusiast for the longest time, and is a coach also, and coaches a particular team in a young team. So we'll be talking more about the grassroots football and the FKF elections, and now we'll also touch on this particular story, whereby I feel like it needs an exclusive. So we'll be doing that next Monday. And now, still here at home and about ladies football here, the FKF Women Premier League game 3, week 3 happened this weekend, whereby teams, our female teams went into the pitch to try to make sure that they do so well in this particular league, because, like I said here last time, that the ones who are the ones who still are holding up the championship is the Kenya Police Bullets that won the last season. So they are here again, back here. The season is very young right now. Like I said, it's week 3 of the tournament. Now, there are some notable games that took place this weekend. Do you have the results?
Yes.
Can you please give us the results? How did it go?
We had Ulinzi Starlets, who drew 1-1 against,
Kispet Queens?
Kispet Queens. We had Kibera Soccer Women, who lost 1-0 to Trinity Starlets. Zitex Sparks drew 0-0 against Vihiga Queens. Bunyore Starlets lost 2-0 against Police Bullets
FC.
Yes,
those were the games that were played this week, my dear esteemed viewers, and those were the results. And I'm happy. I want us to talk about Vihiga Queens and Police Bullets. Now, Vihiga Queens, before the coming in of Police Bullets, Vihiga Queens were dominating for the longest time in this particular league. And now we are seeing that Police Bullets has come and toppled their dominance. And like you said, like in this particular weekend, Police Bullets won 2-0 against Bunyore Starlets. But now we are seeing Vihiga Queens now finished up or came out with a draw against Zitex Sparks. What do you say about Police Bullets? Because you have seen them since the beginning of the season. This season, they have done so well. Like they have won almost all their games. I think did they draw one? I think they drew one. I think, but they have won a couple of their games. So, what do you think about? Do you think they can retain this league?
They could. They have a very good chance. I think okay, I don't know, whatever is happening over on the men's side, maybe they're carrying over to the women's side.
Yeah.
Maybe they're coaching or tactics, and clearly it's working. Vihiga Queens are currently in 4th with 4 points, so they're only 2 points behind. But it's overall a good performance from Police Bullets since they haven't lost a game actually. They've won all their games. All their games. So it's encouraging so that we can see that kind of competition that's over on the men's side being carried over to the women's side, so that we can have a bit of healthy competition. Maybe see a new champion, or whoever is going to be the best can still retain their position and win the league again.
Yes, now that's a good thing because for our Kenyan female footballing side, because I feel like this is something that should amplify. We should talk about the Women Premier League, because they have shown us that they are up to the task. You know, even the Harambee Starlets perform so well when it comes to national performances. So we think it is high time we start amplifying also this league, this women's football in this country, because I feel like they are one of the people, they are one of the leagues, one of the sporting disciplines that are going to represent this country for the longest run in this country. Like you have said, like previously, like the Harambee Starlets under 17 have qualified for a World Cup. Something that has never happened in this country when it comes to football. So women football is growing drastically in this country, and we are here to celebrate it, to amplify it, to talk about it, to make sure that people hear about it. We are going to spread this gospel of the women football in this particular show for the longest time, to make sure that they are supported, they are heard of. People start supporting this because they are doing so well. Our women are doing so well when it comes to football. Now, I think I've exhausted everything back home. Now I feel like it's high time we flew now to the other side of the world.
Okay.
Now, before that, today we said earlier that Harambee Stars is going to have a game, a return leg against Cameroon today. And I'm trying to check if the squad is out, because it should be out right now. It should be out. I'm just checking. Because if we get the squad, it will be easier to talk about it a little bit before we go to Europe. I feel like we should talk about this particular game, because I feel like we need changes and we need to see them win today. So do you have the squad? Is it out already?
I can't see it.
I'm trying to check. It's an hour away, so I think the squad should be out right now. Viewers, I hope the squad is out. I'm not getting the squad right now, but when it comes out, we'll be updating you on it, so don't worry. I'll be checking up on it as time goes by, but they're going to have a game at 4. The game will start at 4 p.m. East African time, and I pray so much that we come out with the win, like we've said earlier. Now, let us now go to Europe now. There were games that were played in this previous week, because we had gone there was no league, so we had gone for the international break. And notable games were played when it comes to international football, especially for the UEFA Nations League that took place this week. And do you have the results?
Yes.
Can you give us the result? What happened this week? So this past week,
So when do I start? On Saturday?
Let's start. Even from last week on from last week on Wednesday.
So the game started on Thursday. So we had France winning 4-1 against Israel, Belgium drawing 2-2 against Italy, Greece winning 2-1 against England. Those are the let me say the big names. For the other ones, we have, let me check. Finland versus Ireland. Ireland won 2-1. Austria won 4-0 against Kazakhstan. Norway won 3-0 against Slovenia. North Macedonia won 3-0 against Latvia. Armenia drew against Faroe Islands 2-2. Gibraltar won 1-0 against San Marino. Moldova won 2-0 against Andorra. And that's it.
Those were the results
that's for Thursday.
For Thursday,
Friday we had, that's the World Cup qualification. Argentina 1-1 against Venezuela. Brazil 2-1 against Chile. Bosnia lost 2-1 against Germany. Netherlands drew 1-1 against Hungary. And then on Saturday we had Croatia winning 2-1 against Scotland, Portugal winning 3-1 against Poland, Spain 1-0 against Denmark, and yesterday England winning 3-1 against Finland. Yeah.
So those were the results, and as far as games, the matches that were international matches that were played in the last week. Now, I want us to go for a short break before to take a couple of gulps of water here. When we come back, we'll be expanding more on that and everything else. So don't touch that dial. Stay there and continue. Take this time to comment about the topics that we have tackled here. We want to hear your views. What do you think about everything we have talked about? We just want to hear your views so that we can go from there. So let us go on a short break. When we come back, we'll be expounding more about the games that we've talked about right now.